Hi everyone, it's Charlotte from SpeakPowerDaily. I'm so happy you're here with me today. Every time I meet English learners, whether it's in class, online, or even just chatting casually, I keep hearing the same story. It's something many of you struggle with, and honestly, it's one of the most common challenges in language learning. I can understand English, but I just can't speak it. Does that sound like you? You watch TV shows in English, you understand your favorite YouTubers, you read articles online with no problem. But when it's time to speak, your brain freezes. The words are in there, but they don't come out. It's frustrating. It's embarrassing. And you're not alone. If this is you, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You're not broken. You're not bad at English, and there's nothing wrong with you. What you're experiencing is something totally normal in language learning, and today, I'm going to help you understand why this happens and what to do about it. Let's start with the truth that most learners don't realize. Understanding and speaking are two different skills. Completely different. Just because you can understand English doesn't automatically mean you'll be able to speak it. Why? Because understanding is a passive skill, and speaking is active. When you're listening, your brain is recognizing sounds, patterns, and meaning. You're receiving information. But when you speak, you're doing the opposite. You have to create language. You have to find the right words, put them in the right order, pronounce them correctly, and do it fast. It's like watching a dance performance versus doing the dance yourself. Watching helps you learn the moves, but it doesn't train your body to actually move. Speaking works the same way. And here's the part most learners miss. Input does not equal output. You can spend hundreds of hours listening, but if you never practice speaking, your mouth won't know what to do. It's not about intelligence, it's about training. So what happens? You become really good at understanding, but completely untrained at speaking. And just like a muscle you don't use, your speaking skill stays weak. You might even think, well, I know the vocabulary, I know the grammar. But knowing and using are different. You don't need more knowledge, you need more practice. But there's another layer, fear. Even when you can speak, something stops you. That something is fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding silly, fear of being judged or misunderstood. And I get it. Speaking a foreign language feels vulnerable. You're afraid people won't understand you or that you'll embarrass yourself. So what do? You stay silent. You stay safe. But you also stay stuck. And the longer you stay stuck, the more confidence you lose. The cycle gets stronger. So if you're sitting there thinking, why can't I understand but not speak? Here's the real answer. You've trained your ears, but not your mouth. You've consumed input, but avoided output. You've absorbed knowledge, but avoided action. And fear has built a wall between your thoughts and your voice. And here's the best part. You can break that wall down. In the next sections, I'm going to walk you through how to fix the input-output imbalance, how to train your speaking like a real skill, and how to finally unlock your English voice with confidence. Because if you can understand English, you already have 70% of the work done. Now it's time to claim the final 30%, the part that sets your voice free. So stay with me, because this is where everything starts to change. Now that you understand why you're stuck, let's dig deeper into one of the biggest causes of this problem, the input-output imbalance. If you can understand English but can't speak it, it's very likely because your input is strong, but your output is weak. Here's what that means. In language learning, there are two sides, input and output. Input is what you receive, like listening and reading. Output is what you produce, like speaking and writing. Now here's the catch. Input usually develops faster. Why? Because it's easier. It's comfortable. You can listen without pressure. You can read at your own pace. No one's judging you. No one's watching. But output? That's a different story. Output requires effort. It requires risk. You have to take the words in your mind and push them out with your mouth. That takes energy, coordination, and confidence. Think of it like going to the gym. Input is like watching workout videos. Output is like lifting the weights. You can watch videos all day long, but that won't build your muscles. And this is exactly what happens with many English learners. You consume content, podcasts, videos, Netflix, social media, all in English. You get very good at recognizing words, understanding conversations, and following stories. But because you're not practicing output, your speaking muscles remain weak. So when someone asks you a question, your brain understands it, but your mouth panics. It's not that you don't know what to say, it's that you haven't trained how to say it. Let me give you a real-life example. I had a student named Hannah. She watched English TV every day. She loved it. She could understand fast conversations, slang, even jokes. But when she had to speak in a meeting at work, she froze. Not because she didn't know English, but because she never trained to use it. We changed her approach. For every 30 minutes of listening, she had to do 10 minutes of speaking, out loud. Shadowing, self-talk, voice recordings. At first, it felt awkward. But within a month, her confidence changed completely. Her sentences flowed. Her pauses got shorter. Her fear dropped. And this isn't just Hannah. This happens with so many learners. You're not alone if this is happening to you. It just means you've built one side of the bridge, but you haven't finished the other side. And guess what? You can start building that other side today. So here's the takeaway. Input builds knowledge. Output builds fluency. You need both. If your goal is to speak English, then you need to spend more time speaking English. That sounds obvious, but most learners don't do it. They stay in their input bubble and wonder why they're stuck. And let me be clear. I'm not saying input is bad. It's actually essential. But without output, your English will stay trapped in your head. Your mouth will never learn to catch up. So ask yourself this: how much of your study time is input, and how much is output? Be honest, because the moment you recognize that imbalance is the moment you can start fixing it. In the next section, I'm going to walk you through a simple, powerful routine to train your speaking like a real skill, even if you don't have anyone to practice with. We're going to turn that weak speaking muscle into one of your biggest strengths. So don't go anywhere. Your breakthrough is just around the corner. Now that you understand the importance of output, let's talk about how to train your speaking like a real skill. Because here's the truth. Speaking is not just knowledge, it's a skill. And skills require training, repetition, and time. Think of speaking English like learning to play an instrument. You can read music theory all day long, but if you never touch the piano, you'll never learn to play. Speaking is the same. You can understand grammar and vocabulary, but if you don't practice speaking out loud, your fluency won't grow. So let's build your speaking routine. Here are 5 simple, powerful ways to train your mouth and brain to work together. 1. Shadowing. This is one of the most powerful exercises for fluency. Find a short podcast, video clip, or speech. listen to a sentence, then repeat it out loud immediately, at the same time as the speaker. Try to match their tone, rhythm, and speed. At first, it will feel fast and messy. That's okay. Keep going. Shadowing helps your mouth get used to speaking English smoothly, and it trains your brain to think faster in real time. Pro tip: use subtitles at first, then remove them as you gain confidence. 2. Thought translation. This one is super practical. Throughout your day, pause and ask yourself, how would I say this in English? Look at things around you and describe them. Narrate your actions. Translate your thoughts into simple English sentences. You don't need a textbook. You just need curiosity. It's like having tiny daily speaking workouts, anytime, anywhere. 3. Self-talk. Practice. Talk to yourself. Yes, really. Pick a topic. Your weekend, your goals, what you had for lunch, and speak out loud for 2 to 5 minutes. Don't worry about mistakes. Just keep speaking. You can even record yourself and listen back. It's a great way to build awareness, confidence, and flow. Over time, you'll notice that your pauses get shorter and your sentences feel more natural. 4. Use technology. You don't always need a speaking partner. Use voice input apps, conversation bots, or AI tutors. Speak into your phone, get feedback, and keep improving. You can also use WhatsApp or Telegram to send voice messages to friends, or even to yourself. The key is to speak regularly and make it feel normal. 5. Build speaking into your routine. Tie your speaking practice to habits you already have. For example, shadow during your morning walk. Translate thoughts while brushing your teeth. Record a voice message right before bed. Making it part of your routine helps it become automatic and sustainable. Now, here's the mindset shift. Don't wait until you're fluent to start speaking. Speak to become fluent. Yes, you'll make mistakes. Yes, you'll forget words. That's part of the process. But the more you speak, the faster those mistakes disappear. Remember Hannah from the last section? Her biggest growth came when she started speaking out loud every day, not just learning silently. She didn't have perfect grammar, but her confidence exploded. That's your goal. Progress, not perfection. So build your routine. Shadow for 5 minutes a day. Translate thoughts while walking or commuting. Do 1 self-talk session every night. Record 1 voice message per week. Tiny steps, repeated often, build real speaking fluency. In the next section, we're going to tackle one of the biggest obstacles to speaking: fear. I'll show you how to stop letting fear control your voice and how to finally speak English with confidence and joy. You're doing great. Keep going. This is it, our final section. And we're going to talk about the biggest invisible wall between you and fluent English: fear. Even if you understand English, even if you know what to say, fear can silence you. Fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding stupid, fear of being judged, fear of freezing in the middle of a sentence. Let me say something you might need to hear today. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. Think about native speakers. They make mistakes all the time. They pause. They forget words. They mix things up. But they keep speaking. Why? Because they know something that learners often forget. Communication is more important than perfection. Let's break this fear down. First, understand this. Fear grows in silence. The less you speak, the more afraid you feel. But the more you speak, the smaller your fear becomes. Confidence doesn't come before speaking. It comes from speaking. And yes, mistakes will happen. You'll forget words. You'll say things in the wrong order. You'll feel awkward. But here's the secret. No one else is thinking about your mistakes as much as you are. In fact, every mistake you make is a sign that you're moving forward. I had a student once who was terrified to speak. She waited years because she was afraid of sounding wrong. So we made a deal. Instead of aiming to speak perfectly, she would try to make 100 mistakes a month. Why? Because every mistake meant she had tried, and every try brought her closer to fluency. Guess what happened? She started speaking more. She relaxed. She laughed at her errors, and very quickly her English improved because she stopped fearing it. Here's a powerful mindset shift. Don't chase perfection, chase connection. Focus on expressing your ideas, not impressing people. Your accent is not a problem. Your pauses are not a problem. The only real problem is staying silent when you want to speak. Now let's talk about real fluency. Fluency doesn't mean speaking fast. It doesn't mean using big words. It means being comfortable. It means being able to say what you need to say, clearly, confidently, and without fear holding you back. If you can understand English, then 70% of the journey is already done. The last part is about using what you know, even imperfectly. So speak. Speak when you're nervous. Speak when you're not ready. Speak when you're scared. That's how you grow. Every time you speak, you're telling your brain, I can do this. And over time, that belief becomes real. Here's your challenge. In the next 24 hours, speak English out loud, just once. 1 minute, 1 sentence, 1 small action to push through the fear. And then, do it again the next day. You'll be amazed at how much power is hiding on the other side. Thank you for being here with me today. I hope this video gave you a new perspective, some real strategies, and the confidence to take action. If it helped you, give it a thumbs up. It helps us grow. And don't forget to subscribe to SpeakPowerDaily for more content just like this. Remember, you don't need perfect English. You just need to be brave enough to use the English you already have. See you next time.